Right in Kenya, on August 6, 2024, the Central Bank of Kenya's Monetary Policy Committee reduced the central bank rate by 25 basis points from 13% to 12.75%. The CBK governor, Dr. Thuge, noted that when lead global economies start to cut rates, emerging and developing economies are set to benefit.
In the case of the global financial markets, the markets have remained stable, and this has been reflected in the improved performance in the equity markets. And to a certain extent, this improvement in the equity markets reflects improved global economic conditions and also the easing of eased financial market access for the emerging and developing economies should result from this stable global financial markets, particularly as the advanced economies start to lower their interest rates. And we hope that that will reduce the cost of funding, and that emerging economies and developing economies can access international capital markets at reduced interest rates. So the key takeaways on the global developments are the following: that global growth remains steady in 2024, supported by strong growth in the US, but also improved growth prospects in China as well as India.
All right, so we are having this discussion about the Federal Reserve cutting rates. And as you rightly put it there by the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, Dr. Thuge, is that when the big economies start reducing the rates, then you see that the economies which are emerging are set to benefit, because it boils down to what they call cost of capital. When the central banks set these rates, they're controlling money supply, how much, at what rate you can borrow money from the big banks, then it trickles from the central bank, then it trickles down. So when you see the Fed reducing, it essentially means that the cost of credit has gone lower. Now, how does that trickle to our local economy? For the longest time we saw, especially during COVID, there was a very big concern in regards to, they call it capital outflows, because all central banks raised their rates to sort of cushion their local economies, and the US being the lead, they raised their rate. And we operate, a lot of investors who are operating in the international space, they invest in dollars. So imagine if the earnings or the rate of return in an economy is higher, and that is the US, is higher due to higher interest rates. It means investors would prefer to put their money in the US compared to Kenya. And that's exactly what happened during the COVID period. And we've been seeing that because it's maintained the rates over the past actually this is the biggest cut in 4 years. Now, reducing it, essentially it means that capital becomes more affordable. That is one. So global companies actually can borrow at more affordable rate from the market and invest across the world. But secondly, also, the power that they held in regards to higher returns in that particular economy goes a little bit lower. So we are slowly becoming at par in regards to investors thinking, where can I get more returns? Initially, when the rates were high in the US, they were getting more returns in the US. For example, if you are investing in that market, you get higher return. But when it comes lower, now you start to look at other markets that you can put your money. So essentially, that's why when something happens with the Fed, it trickles down to this economy, and in simple terms, that's what is happening here. But now coming home to some other powerful stories, specifically on matters power. Over 260 households in Angurai Eastward are said to benefit from REREC Power project, which intends to light up households in rural areas. The partnership between the REREC and county government under the Equalization Fund will see actually